You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Voice After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Voice After Show.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to The Voice AFTERBUZZ TV After Show. And we are here tonight, and we're doing, like Bing always does, we are doing another episode of The Voice. And this is the top 8 live performances. So we have all the things that happen in a live performance that can't exactly be planned. For example, Terry McDermott's static electricity hair. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, yet not planned. And it could have just been because he was electric.
He could have been electric or, what's it called when you rub your feet against the...
Static, yes.
Well, yeah, I guess that's the other word I used.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm your host, Michelle Macedo, and this is my co-host.
Hey, I'm Melissa Macedo.
And we are the twin duo Macedo. And so tonight's episode started off with a very lucky premiere performance of a song by 50 Cent and Adam Levine called My Life. 50 Cent came out on stage and was rapping. Adam Levine looked like Gumby a little, I realized, when he dances around.
Yes, he does. He's very vertical as a person. But hey, it was a world premiere.
He's like Gumby.
It was a world premiere. I liked it. I liked the song. You know, live, I feel like maybe I didn't get a sense of how it really sounded. I didn't really get to listen to all the words, but...
Yeah, I want to listen to it again, definitely, but that's cool. And Adam seemed really into the performance, and yay, 50 Cent was there.
Yeah, hooray.
Hooray. Anyway, then we had the rest of the top 8 performers. First one being Team Adam's Amanda Brown, who sang Someone Like You by Adele. Now, we all know...
So there's a general rule in voice competition shows, and that's you never do Adele.
Yeah, but people break this rule a lot. But... we're also used to hearing Adele sing Adele, that unless you're gonna sing in a different language or bring something totally new to it, everyone's gonna be like, oh, I wish that was Adele singing that, you know? But Adam, yeah, and we're listening to the song right now in the background, just in case, I don't know who on earth has not heard this song, but just in case there is somebody on earth that has not heard this song, here it is. There we go. So anyway, Team Adam decided to put a rock twist to it because Amanda Brown has like a rockin' voice.
Yeah, and you know, Adam knows the rule that you can't do Adele unless you really change it up.
Yeah.
And really do something different with it. And I really think she did. I think I really liked it.
You thought it worked?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, it wouldn't be like, I wouldn't prefer the song in the rock genre, but I thought she brought something cool to it and made it like kind of a different thing, a whole different tone.
Yeah, you know, it's really hard, I can imagine hearing, but it's really hard performing.
You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV
You
network.
guys, I don't know if you forgot, but you're listening to AFTERBUZZ TV network. So we wanted to remind you of that and let you know that Amanda Brown, she did a good job. I don't know how I feel about the Adele cover, but for what she got, I thought it was good. I wouldn't listen to that song in that genre. I don't think that it should be that genre. Just for the sake of trying something new, I think it was successful. So, anyway, Team CeeLo.
Yeah, Cody Belew.
Somebody to Love.
Yes.
by Queen. So do you think that they're trying to compare him to Freddie Mercury?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the thing. It's like, who can you touch? Who can you really do?
Whoa.
Can you really do Freddie
Whoa.
Mercury?
Here's a rant.
No, but you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't do Adele. Can you really do Freddie Mercury
Yeah.
then?
Well, that's
You
the
can't
thing. No.
Yeah, you can't, especially this song, you know?
Yeah, you know, but I think maybe clearly they're trying to mix that up and throw that in with his image being like a modern day Freddie Mercury or something. And Cody Belew, you know, he's still on the show every week. He does well, and I guess, you know, keeps getting voted for.
Yeah.
And
So,
who
yeah,
knows?
that happens.
I think it was a good choice of a song. Who doesn't like that song? Everybody likes
Yeah,
that
everyone
song.
likes that song. It's just, you know, it's like he did it just like
Freddie Mercury, yeah. Yeah, and then at that point it's like, well, why not? I could just listen to Freddie Mercury singing.
Yeah. I mean, he did do a really good job. He
did.
does have a really amazing voice.
Yeah, he really does. Anyway, so next we had a little group performance, and it was with everybody. I'm not sure exactly what song that was. I'd never heard it before, I don't think.
I'm forgetting.
But what did you think of all of them performing together? I know that there must be a lot of pressure to like outshine each other.
But I actually think they have a lot more fun in those ones.
Yeah.
Because there's not as much pressure to get every note right. You know, like if someone's off, you just hear someone's off, but you don't know who.
Yeah.
And also, it's just like then they finally like can lean on other people a little bit.
Yeah, and blend in a little bit more.
So, I mean, yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah, it did seem like they were having fun, which was good. Go them. Anyway, Terry McDermott.
Terry McDermott.
McDermott's on Blake Shelton's team.
He sang a Blake Shelton song.
Yeah, and Blake Shelton said that he thinks that Terry should have always sung it, that it wasn't really a country song to begin with, that it was written by a rock band. And so he thinks that it should be.
Yeah, which is interesting. I mean, I did not know that.
Do you think Blake's just being nice by saying that he like would do it better?
Well, yeah, I think he's just being nice.
Yeah.
But I actually don't know Blake's version of the song. So
No, me
I
neither.
don't really know. But I could see it. I mean, I did see it being rock. I'm interested to know what it's like with a country, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I thought that too. But he also had the little frizzies in his hair the whole time. Also, you guys, they went a little crazy with the smoke machine this time.
They went really crazy.
That is a lot of
I mean,
smoke.
look, it's a lot on Terry's, but I mean, on Cassidy's, it's like almost blew her away.
It was crazy. And they just pump it out.
Yeah.
They just pump it out. Like it just looks like a hose of water or something, which is another cool idea.
Yeah. Two things
So.
you need. Fog and a fan.
Yeah, probably fire. You need some explosions.
Yeah, that's true.
Depending
you can
on the song.
always do an explosion.
That's true. Why not? Anyway, so it was really nice that it was Terry's wife's birthday, and they were all pretending like she couldn't be there and that he was all sad about it. When when he actually said that they had his first or second, or he just has one kid, right? His kid was born when he was in the middle of a 4-month tour, which that totally sucks.
Yeah, it does.
I would be like, yo,
Yeah.
just pop this baby out,
Whoa.
be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only requirement,
Yeah.
don't be on tour.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's rough.
Yeah, that is
I
rough.
can't believe, so she must really be committed to him if she's,
Well, and it's his dream and it's his life. So obviously he's doing really well right now. So
yeah.
it's worth it.
But Melissa, the point of the story was that she was there.
She was there. She surprised him,
In
and
the
then they
Sprint skybox.
and then they made out, and Carson was like, "That's a show. I want to see that show."
No, he said, I want to watch Terry and his wife make out. That for good ratings. That's
Yeah.
good ratings or something.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said that's a good show. But can we talk about how awkward for a moment Carson was tonight?
Well, let's move on to Melanie Martinez.
okay,
who he
I
was
guess
very
we'll
awkward
talk
with.
about Carson.
She sang, and it feels like
Just Too Close.
Yeah.
By Calvin Harris, yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, she made it like a cool new acoustic version. I really liked it. I thought,
I thought it was one of her better performances.
yeah.
And
Go
I
ahead.
think this song kind of lends itself to like slow down a little bit and be a little more subtle. Because but Melanie was going through a breakup.
Oh yeah, she was going through a breakup, and guess what, guys? Everyone on national television really likes to bring it up.
Yeah.
And if you're 17 years old, you probably don't really want to talk about it unless it's like with all your friends, but you probably don't want to talk about it. She really didn't want to talk about it. She was like, yeah, I can think of someone that it's like about or whatever.
Yeah. And then Adam is just like, yeah, I know it's hard in a breakup. And Adam said that his whole first album was about a breakup.
Yeah, so he knows. He's like, so it's good to like turn that around. And he was like, and I'll kick anybody's ass. Like every time that someone tried to make her laugh about it, she was not having it.
No, her face got very
Well, in the
serious.
live after the performance, Adam was like, hey, you know what the point of doing a song to someone in a breakup is to make them
feel dumb,
to feel stupid.
said
And
dumb,
he's
yeah.
like, oh, and I bet that guy feels really dumb right now.
I bet that guy feels like an
Which
idiot.
I would be like, totally. I really hope he does. That's awesome.
I would be like, yeah, he feels dumb.
And that's like funny for him to say. I mean, like what,
Yeah, and it's just nice of him to say. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not seriously wishing badly on this random
like 17-year-old kid.
whoever. But the weird thing was
She did not like
she
it.
did not laugh or smile at all during that.
And then creepy Uncle Carson comes up, put his arm around her and says, he said, I hope the guy that you just broke up with or that this song is about is watching or saw
Yeah.
that or something.
And she puts her head down and she shakes her head.
She nods her head like,
And not smiling or laughing at all. She's just nodding her head like, this is so embarrassing.
she looked humiliated. But I mean, if I were, I'd like play it off like, yeah, guys are stupid.
No, me too, because, it's like you don't have to show the world, like, I don't know, you don't have to be, I don't know, it just seemed like.
Like there's certain ways to deal with humiliation, I guess.
Right.
Some people just sit in it.
Yeah, so that was really awkward.
Yeah, that was super awkward. And Carson just beat it into the ground. Adam was just trying to be nice.
They were all trying to be nice, and I don't know what's going on in her, like.
Yeah.
She could have, I don't know.
In her multicolored head.
She looked very serious about it.
She did. But sure, that guy does feel dumb, and I promise he was watching.
Yeah.
Probably with a lot of his friends or something. But anyway, so that was kind of funny. Next on Team Christina was Dez Duron, who Christina loves.
Yeah, I loves a lot. And you know what? Christina really loves all the guys and all the girls, like with Melanie.
She hates
She does
them.
not.
She's extra harsh on them, and she just looks unamused the whole time.
So then we have Dez.
And he's like, everybody thinks of me as this like ex-Yale football player. I'm like, yeah, that is literally the sentence they use to introduce you every time, or Carson uses, whatever. But he wants to, I didn't understand really what he was trying to do. I mean, I guess that was just hitting his story home again.
Yeah. You know, that
reminding
each
everyone.
of them, they really like went more into their story.
Yeah, and that his like dad was upset that he didn't want to go to Yale.
Or he did go to Yale, but then he left.
Yeah. Well, his dad was upset that he left, that he didn't graduate, and that he went out to pursue his career. And if I were his dad, I'd be really mad too. Be like, listen, you got into Yale, you're at Yale, you're not leaving.
Yeah.
So that I could see.
But then, you know, if he didn't leave,
well, then there's always that.
he wouldn't be on The Voice.
Then there's always that. So I bet that dad now is like, well, who would have known? But you should have known, Dad. That's the thing. So let's hope. I mean, he's really lucky that he's just like very good looking. Looks like a older James. I mean,
Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber.
James Bond?
I was like, no, I was gonna say James Bieber.
Oh.
That's just a mixture of somebody else.
Yeah, and he sang a Justin Bieber song.
Oh yes, that's
Smile. Something about smiling. Can you smile? Yeah. Yeah. And I think they made this version a little funkier.
right. Yeah. Christina certainly was telling him how to sing it.
Yes.
Sing it like this.
But you know what? I think he did really well. His voice is very pop like that.
Yeah.
Like it lends itself to like 100% pure pop. But they did make it a little funkier, a little more jazz-like, which I like that. I think it worked with him.
Yeah, they did make it funkier. They had horns in it. They had all this extra stuff, all these different orchestration that I like the song better this way. So that was cool.
Yeah.
So, but what about Trevin on Team CeeLo? Trevin.
Trevin
Is that how you
Hunt.
pronounce it?
Yeah, it's not Trayvon.
Okay.
Trayvon is the unfortunate incident
I
in
know.
Florida.
I know.
This is Trevin.
Okay, Trevin.
The greatest love of all, Whitney
Isn't it
Houston.
spelled the same?
No, it's not.
Team CeeLo.
Yeah. The greatest love of all. By Whitney. You
Yeah,
know,
Whitney Houston.
You don't do Adele. You don't do Whitney.
Don't do Whitney.
But everyone does Whitney on every voice
That's
competition
true.
show. There's
And there's not one that I'm like, you should have done that, or you really, when we put you up against Whitney, you really like killed it. No, Whitney's version is always better.
Yeah.
There's no end to her voice or her range.
Yeah.
There's also no end to Trevin's range, which is crazy, but he like doesn't have it under control yet. It's like such a, like Christina said, a beast of a voice.
Beast, yeah.
That it's like he needs to grow into it or something.
And yeah, that's the key, growing into it. I mean, he's 17 or something.
Yeah.
17, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, or 18.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that Trevin and Melanie are the same age.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Anyway, yeah. No, he has to grow into it, and Christina really wants to, like, guide him. A few weeks ago, she said, like, I just want to, like, teach you everything.
Which maybe that will happen. Who knows? But I know that CeeLo stays pretty close with his teammates.
Yes.
Or his team members.
But no, Trevin has an amazing voice.
Yeah, he really does. Still, I don't know about the Whitney Houston, but
yeah, it was a little. I mean, Adam said, "I hope this is heaven." With Trevin singing there and the whole choir in the background.
Oh yeah, there was a choir of kids.
Yeah,
but they weren't really kids. They were like middle schoolers.
No, I think they were older than that.
High school,
maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, there was a bunch of people in the background, and Adam is hoping that's what happens in heaven.
Yeah, but it was a little Tony Macaroni.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Then okay, next we had Nicholas David.
Guy with the beard and the hair.
Saying what's
straight out of the 70s.
Yeah, straight out of the 70s.
Saying what's going on. He's on Team CeeLo too. And I've never seen someone so clearly starstruck and not even trying to hide it than when Bill Withers walked in the room. Like his mouth, he was sitting at the piano, his mouth was just hanging open.
Yeah, it was.
And he was like, that's the guy that wrote Lean on Me. He wrote that song.
Yeah.
Like he wrote all these songs. And Bill Withers is like huge. I couldn't believe it. That's crazy. So I'm sure for Nicholas and CeeLo, Bill Withers was like a huge influence.
Yeah.
Remember CeeLo said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that he was talking about like, oh, if it wasn't for those songs, then
oh right, yeah,
those songs totally changed me, and like I grew up and was like different than everybody else, and
yeah,
whatever.
That's
talking
right.
about that.
Yeah, and I think you know, Nicholas does what he does really well, which is his little funk like 70s, very, you know, he's definitely of a different era.
Yeah, the 70s.
Yeah, he's of the 70s.
He's like straight out of it. I don't know if there's anything else he could do. I don't know.
And Blake said he didn't realize that you could that Nicholas was blind until
Right, because he was wearing like sunglasses, which like only Stevie Wonder does inside.
Actually, CeeLo was wearing sunglasses too.
Oh, that's funny. That I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, I thought that was kind of weird because he hasn't worn sunglasses inside, and I'm like, why are you wearing sunglasses?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, his whole look, his like signature look is just like the hair and the like weird dated suit and the like white shoes with the weird socks.
Oh, and he has a third child on his way.
On its way. On its
Due
way.
in February. So that there's some, The Voice is like, there's some major news going on.
Yeah, there's some major news happening.
Okay, and then we had Cassidy Pope.
Wait, what did we think? What did we think of Nicholas's performance overall?
You know, he doesn't ever really surprise me.
Yeah, well, he's like, the same thing. I think he tried to like impress Bill Withers, and Bill Withers was like, no,
Yeah.
tone it down.
Yeah.
He's like, take it easy, which was, and he was laughing at that, so
Yeah.
that was fun. Anyway, so yeah, Cassidy Pope.
So she sang Michelle Branch, which is exactly her genre, I think.
Yeah.
And maybe she's a little edgier.
Are you happy now?
But I felt like it completely worked for her.
Yeah.
And gotta love Michelle Branch.
I know, and we were just talking about what happened to her.
I don't know. She had a great album.
That she did.
Yeah.
Love that album. Listen to it. It's on repeat in, as Marissa guessed accurately, in 2001 when it came out.
Yeah.
It's when it came out.
And you know what? Her voice is like her range, and like she has a higher voice, and it really
Cassidy Pope?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really works. Like I thought she did really well. Obviously, after a performance like last week, you can't do that again. That's why it's like special, because you do it once.
I mean, yeah, she really had her shot to blow everyone away last week, and she did. And so after that, I mean, I think that everyone just has more respect for her probably. And I think that no matter what she would have done this week, obviously last week's is going to like blow it out of the water. So yeah, it sounded good. It was like, it fit her genre and stuff.
Yeah, and unfortunately her dad hasn't contacted her yet.
I know.
Which pisses me off.
Well, listen, I can tell you that up till now, he hasn't been a stand-up guy.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to raise to the occasion.
That's true.
Because all of a sudden, now that she's famous, he's like going to be a good person. It might be a blessing in disguise that he's not contacting her.
Definitely.
So
stay strong.
I know it hurts, and it also seems to probably be like most of who she's singing to. And I think that's part of what made last week's performance so good. I mean, maybe she was talking about him or her great-grandmother or something. But, yeah, that's really sad, and that's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Screw that guy.
Yeah, whatever. We can be fine without him, right, Cassidy?
Yeah, Cassidy. It's okay. You don't need him.
So, should we...
Oh, wait. Let me just say that was also when Adam said multiple times that he hates the Roxy, that he'll never play at the Roxy ever again.
He said they didn't... Oh, right. Adam opened for Maroon 5, opened for Michelle Branch, and...
at the Roxy in Hollywood on Sunset.
And there was no even dressing room for them.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
Let me just say.
And he said it was a horrible experience and that they were awful.
Yeah, and that they screwed him over. That's what he said. They screwed him.
That's pretty intense.
And then he said, what? They screwed me over. And then he said, well, now they know, or something.
No, he said, and everyone was like, oh, like that's a really intense thing to say. And then he was like, oh, and they're paying for it now. That's what he said. Like right now.
No, but it's good if a venue doesn't treat the artist well, and the artist doesn't have a voice. When the artist has a voice,
exactly,
they need to be like, hey, you can't treat artists like crap.
That's very true. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what they did, but you know, Melissa and I, playing in a band all around LA, we've played on the Sunset Strip many times, and we know a lot of the venues that do that, and that unfortunately are very either mean to artists or disrespectful. And it's just, or it could be a very hostile environment. But, you know, and some of the venues are awesome. And with the Roxy, we've only played on the Rocks upstairs and had a good experience. So
anyway,
that's all we can say.
Yeah. But I believe Adam.
I believe Adam, yes.
Trust that.
I'm sure it's only a matter of time before.
There's some venues I could drop right now that are horrible, but we'll do that when we're not right here right now. Ask me later. All right, should we move on to predictions?
Yeah, let's do it.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So first, let's predict 2 people who are going home, and then 1 winner.
Okay, so the 2 people that are going home. Okay, this is tough.
Yeah, it is hard.
Okay, I think maybe Nicholas.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe Cody Belew.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. Cody
OMG.
Belew.
You're copying me. You're reading my mind.
Copying me. And Nicholas David.
Yeah. Okay, now who do you think is gonna win? Maybe Amanda Brown.
Amanda Brown might win. She might win, but Trevin might win.
Yeah, that's true.
And Cassidy might win.
Really? I don't know.
Okay, let's just say, I'm going to say Trevin.
I think the person that's like surprised me the most is like Amanda.
That's true. All right, well, there it is. Let's see what happens.
There it is, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Michelle Macedo, and you can follow me on Twitter at Macedo Music.
I'm Melissa Macedo. You can follow me at Melissa Macedo M.
And if you guys have any questions or want to say anything to us, you can tweet us at AfterBuzz TV. Check us out on iTunes, download the podcast, all of that good stuff. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week on The Voice.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.